What's happening, everybody? Trey here, joined by my dad, Sean, and today, reactions to the classics. It's time for another full album reaction to the Stone Roses.
Yes.
It's been, it's probably been close to a year now since we've done the debut.
Yeah.
Man, one of the better albums, in my opinion, of the 80s. Such a great debut record. And since then, done a lot of Stone Roses content. They were featured in a B-sides battle with Oasis, some song battles involving them. And I know they're one of the favorite groups of the patron that brought this suggestion to us today. Longtime friend of the channel, Ian.
Thanks, Ian. You great dude, man. Joins us on our live streams. Check out the Twitch link below. Give it a follow for Tuesday or for Wednesday and Friday nights. And just appreciate all the patrons. And Ian, you know, we always like everyone to tell us about the album. Obviously, he brought the album. It's important to him. So here's what Ian has to say. This is Ian's takes. And I've read this. He has some hot takes. But he said, I'd been obsessed with the Stone Roses in 1994 and was totally excited they finally had their second album. I've been disappointed by quite a few second albums that have been rushed by other 90s UK indie rock Britpop bands that I was blown away by this. The album really works for me. Highly produced, but without losing the musicianship. They took their time and they delivered. Sadly, not many people agree with me, and it only went to number 4. For me, this album is superior to the competition at the time, i.e. His and Hers, The Bends, now Ian, this better be good, Dogman Star, Park Life, and Definitely Maybe. Only What's a Story and Paranoid Android matches it in the Britpop mid-90s era.
Everyone said it's not as good as the Stone Roses debut, and I think it is a better album musically, but the originality of the first album makes it a more significant album. A bit like the White Album is a greater album than Abbey Road. It moved what was possible with music forward, while the latter album was a more refined improvement.
Hence, 2 hot takes.
Dude, and then we have Squire, of course, John Squire, the fantastic guitarist, and Ian Brown, the front man. Both have moments of genius post-Stone Roses, but they needed each other to reach these heights. I'm not including the hidden track 90, which doesn't add much. A bit of fun, I suppose. Just remember it being annoying, as it would be quiet for ages, then scared the living daylights
Those
out
hidden
of
tracks
me.
used to do that. I remember those things. And the stuff I found, not much on it. Ian covered it greatly, but a couple quick facts. Obviously, the second and final studio album released in December of 94 in the UK. Early 95 in the U.S. because the Stone Roses didn't go over in the U.S. Just another example of how the U.S. is far lagging behind the U.K. in music. Recorded between 1992 and 94, this one was a journey and went platinum in the U.K. Sold over 1 million copies worldwide and was dedicated to Phil Paul, the band's publicist, who died of cancer in 1993. It suffered greatly at the time from the sheer weight of expectation generated by both the 5.5-year gap between it, their debut, and their withdrawal from live arena performances for 4.5 of those years. There have been speculation in the British press that the high expectations for their debut record had left the band, quote, paralyzed with self-doubt, which the longer it goes on before you bring something else out, I can see that.
No, man. So I like that. I like getting the primer, getting the context ready, and we're just going to start this thing off, man. We're going to start with the longest tune on the record, the opener, which is a bit interesting. Breaking Into Heaven. Ian said it's basically 2 songs. The song starts with a sound collage, which puts Revolution number 9 to shame. It creates an otherworldly yet distinctively Stone Roses sound, the echoes of an imagined heaven with the tom-tom beats gradually building out of the jungle. Okay. Broken by the wild call of an electric guitar hinting of what is to come in the rest of the album. Then the guitar feedback merges into the second part of the song. Classic Stone Roses, catchy chorus, great guitar work. I'm going to break right into Heaven. Sends shivers down my spine as I listen. The impressive guitar work doesn't overpower the song as a whole. Well-balanced tune with strong lyrics, vocals, bass, and lead. Interesting sections of the song have different feels. Only the fade out at the end doesn't work for me. And at the end, Ian gave his scores for each track.
Yeah, I really like that. It gives us a 7.5. So we're going to see how you're doing, Ian, after this first track.
As always, man, we're going to have the lyrics pulled up in the full, just since it is such a long album and with copyright, we're going to have a Vimeo link down in the description, man, so you can check that out with the full music. But all that to say, man, I'm excited.
I am too.
Let's get in it. All right, Breaking Into Heaven, man. What a unique way to start your record off, especially as you were kind of mentioning in the reaction to that, after such anticipation, starting off with a sound collage.
Yeah, that lasted about 5 minutes, you know, and I love that, man. Everybody's anticipating it for 5+ years. When's it going to start? But, you know, you mentioned you likened it to Revolution 9 to a certain extent, Ian. I can't stand Revolution. I actually like this a lot. I like the soundscape and the song, and you mentioned it. Squire's guitar work is top notch.
No, I really do think it did a good job putting you in that jungle type of setting, man. And that guitar barely breaking through, and then boom, just expertly just transitioned into the proper song itself. Where really we got a guy who seems to be kind of fed up with the world itself, man, and he doesn't want to wait to get to heaven, man. He wants to break in there because I think this. The world and earth itself is just a bit too much for this dude, and he ain't having it anymore. And you have that really mellow, kind of laid back Ian Brown vocal delivery here with John Squire. I think it almost reminded me of Hendrix's Voodoo Child at certain points. Yeah, and I thought that he was just the star of this, from the collage to his work here, and I love that it just all kind of ramped up at the very end, going in with that solo. So nice and unique way to start this record.
Agreed.
And then next up, second song here, we have Driving South. Ian noted classic rock song, well executed production. Manny and Squire are tight here. Vocals are the usual. Ian Brown, basic and earthy but expressive. Ian's going an 8 on this tune.
8?
So
wow. Driving South. I'll tell you what, that was a cool song, man.
Dude,
all the way around, man. The way
it
it's constructed, obviously instrumentally, but the lyrics, and we said it during the reaction. I mean, I don't know if they have any influence or any shout out to the great Robert Johnson.
That's right.
I mean, the Stones, Led Zepp, they were very influenced by Robert Johnson. American bluesman, disappeared. People think he sold his soul to the devil. He couldn't play at all. Comes back 9 months later, can play.
Dude.
And then he just disappeared without. There's only 2 known photos of.
Yeah, that's
this
right.
is what it reminds me, because he's driving south. That happened in the south. I don't know, man.
No, man, and I like it. He stops an old man hitcher at a lonely old crossroad. Yet again, made me think of Robert Johnson.
Maybe it's Robert.
Man.
Maybe it's David Roberts there.
He said, "I'm going nowhere, and I'm only here to see if I can steal your soul." And then it kind of all comes together, because he's you can't. You ain't pretty, young, you can't sing. Anytime you want to sell your soul, I've got a toll-free number you can ring, 0800-666. Oh, yeah. And then at the end, it was kind of cool how it tied together, because we heard
him dialing it, man. He gave in. Don't do it, man.
And, man, obviously, I think Ian's right on here about Squire just being so exceptional. He had a bit of an edge here to his guitar playing. Like, he ain't taking no prisoners on this record,
No, that was fantastic, man. That's going to bring us to the single from this very highly acclaimed single, 10-Story Love Song. Ian says the hit song from the album, great in every respect, lyrically a simple love song with a nice motif of building a love song 10 stories high, a traditional verse chorus song, almost back to the Garage Flower sound. He gives it a 9. Second single went to 11 in the UK, but here in 2009, the British writer Richard Millward named his second novel after this song.
Yeah, and this was also on a list for another patron who did a numbers list, and for his number 10,
I was wondering why you had it favored. I'm like, how's Trey know this song? And I don't. I thought you're getting ahead of me, bro.
It's a banger, man. Felt like we were ramping up for a transition into Daybreak. I
know. I think we were, man.
But 10-Story Love Song. Definitely different, Dad, than the first 2 tunes.
For sure.
Not only in subject matter, but obviously musically as well.
Yeah, instrumentation dialed back, because, it's a love song, as Ian said in the intro to it. I enjoyed it. Definitely different. Showcases the vocals a little more as the instrumentation takes a back seat. Still had a nice 40-second intro, which I liked.
Yeah, and I thought Manny's bass line was particularly notable on this track, and just that whole concept. Oh, I'm going to build that 10-story love song there, but I like it too, because it doesn't seem like it all worked out, because he's going to note, as you're lying awake in this darkness, this everlasting night, someday soon, don't know where or when, you're going to wake up and see the light. Maybe she didn't reciprocate this love.
Exactly,
here, man.
And she's gonna get it sooner or later. That's what he's hoping. That's what we always hope.
Maybe after he tells her this tune, she's gonna be like, oh,
she's like, oh, okay.
I should have stayed with him, man. But definitely single worthy, I think, as well.
I do too.
Has that sound, so I dug it, man. And next tune, track number 4 here, we have Daybreak.
Yeah, Ian says the production between this and the 10-story is seamless. It's what you're just saying. The drums and lead guitar stand out. If you aren't dancing by now, there's something wrong with you. With us? Is that what he's saying? Not many rock bands can create songs that have you moving. Is this one an 8.5?
As we get to closing out Daybreak here, yet again, a unique unique vibe compared to the other songs on the record.
For sure.
6.5 minutes. I think I would have liked it more if it was 5 minutes, maybe.
I swear, Trey, if you crawled inside my brain, it's a very big space up there. You could crawl in. There's plenty of room. I was going to say the exact same thing. You know, I already saw what Ian said about the next song that he's not a huge fan of, but he said he wouldn't skip it. And so while this song was going on, it just gave me an idea, Trey. We're going to have a new little segment on RTTC that we'll bring up from time to time. Maybe we'll implement it on the live streams. Skip it or play it. This is the first one so far on the album. I'm going to have to skip it. Now, it might grow on me, though, because it is so much different. The drumming is fantastic.
Yeah, Rennie killed it.
It went on too long. I looked up as 4:58. I'm like, that's where they should have cut it, like at 5:02. And it just kept going. And I understand that's kind of the style of the times during that time. But not a bad song, but I would skip it.
No, I think I'd still play it because there was enough here for me to enjoy about it. But the rhythm section was really good. It got a little... just a little, I think, monotonous in there.
It did. That's what I was thinking, too.
Around the 4-ish minute mark before they got into that organ solo, that was unique. Trim that a little. I did like kind of the danceable, rhythm and nature to the tune as well. And I mean, Ian here shouting out Rosa Parks and kind of, African Americans and whatnot.
I thought that part was great.
Talking about the music, so I know Stack for Black on a radio station in the city. You don't hear that much from lads from the UK. Don't necessarily.
You don't.
So that was notable in it, but I think we have a lot of the same kind of.
Yeah, and I will say, just so you know, boys and girls, don't ever skip a song until you've heard it 10 times. It's just kind of a little fun thing. Skip it or play it.
I like that though.
But you need to hear it 10 times because it'll grow on you. But.
Well, next up we go from a long tune to the shortest one up to this point, at least. We have Your Star Will Shine. Ian noted a nice simple song with great vocal harmonies. The distorted guitar sounds give it a relaxed yet distinctively Stone Roses feel. One of the weaker tracks, in my opinion. Still wouldn't skip it. Ian's going to 6.5 on this
and that's Ian's inspiration for me doing skip it or play it. Thank you, Ian.
All right, Your Star Will Shine. One of the more straightforward songs that we've had on this album so far, Dad.
Yeah, it's quite unique, and there's just not much to it. It's like the instrumentation is well done, but it's very laid back. Not much experimental with the instrumentation on there. The song's fine. I mean, basically, he's just reassuring his girl that she must be on hard times, but don't worry, I'm going to be here for you. I'm by your side, and eventually your star will shine again one day. I'm going for the button, but I'm not touching it, so I will play it. But I almost skipped it.
It's
fine.
Like Ian there.
It's fine. Yeah. It's not horrible or anything. Just like Ian says, he's probably got it rated probably like a 6.5.
Yeah.
It just seems rather boring. And I think the only reason why it seems rather boring is because everything else is so
innovative and
innovative. So there's nothing wrong with it. If I heard it on a different album, I wouldn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a pretty good vocal performance on there as well, showcased more.
No, man, I'm going to echo your thoughts, man. I dug the tune. It's not going to end up amongst my favorites on here, just like you said, but it had that, kind of a let you breathe, I guess, after the last two tracks have had a kind of that danceability and a more upbeat quality. We take it back with Your Star Will Shine, and probably one of Ian's better, Ian Brown, not our patron, Ian, his vocal performances.
I agree with that.
And we're going to stick with another kind of shorter tune for the Stone Roses. We got Straight to the Man.
Yeah, Ian says, love the slide guitar and boingy sounding instrumentation. I think that's what that lyrically strong in a poetic way, almost like a beat poet with southern guitar feel. He gives it an 8. That's quite the introduction.
Straight to the Man. I mean, you could see right away that boingy. I don't even know what exactly that was. And that kept me invested lyrically. I think one of the weaker tracks that
I thought the same thing.
But the musicianship, even if it was just that boingy, whatever that thing was, kind of kept me invested. But yet again, another one that's not going to be amongst my favorites.
After the first 3 songs, I almost said, man, this thing's every bit as good as the debut. This thing could really have to take a turn. Well, it's taking a turn for me. Ian, you're probably like, what's this bloke doing on my review? Trey's done all your reviews. I pop on here. It's a fine song, but the last 3 songs, I mean, I'm almost going to save me some time on this album. I might go bop, bop, bop. But right now, I mean, it's all right. It's not horrible. I'd probably be in the 5 range on this song.
You're
We're not going to
gonna
start
find-
grading songs. I like that Ian did. I'd like to know what you guys think. But
I didn't like it as much as Ian did, but like I said, the instrumentation kind of kept it for me. You had the do, which is a bit catchy in there.
It was. Yeah, I agree. Not a horrible song or anything.
No, but
I just think the first 3 set the bar really high, which is what you want to do because you suck people in, especially on a long album. Now we're going to go to a song that, ironically enough, at the time of filming this, we got Begging You. 2 days ago, this was in a song battle. Now, I will say this. It's the first time I'd heard this song, and I'll also say, Trey, we did 8 song battles on it.
That's right.
I don't really remember this song, but Ian says this must have taken an age to mix. Brilliant, multi-layered song. The dance music beat made this a favorite to remix in clubs and has a Prodigy feel. A strong, rolling beat really makes this feel full of energy. He gave it a 9. It's the 3rd and final single ever for them since this is their 2nd album.
That's right.
15 in the UK. Squire said the song was loosely based on material from Public Enemy's Fear of a Black Planet, which you wouldn't expect. And the song also contains many references to Aesop's fables.
Yeah, and it was inspired by the group's memory of a dark turn of events in Manchester's hedonistic club scene where ravers would take too many drugs and drugs would become adulterated as dealers try to maximize profit margins, leading to the emergence of drug gangs. Ian Brown explained, too many people take one too many. Yeah. He described the song as, quote, like when you're in a club and everything's beautiful and you're eat up and you got some voice going on in your ear saying, how can they get you a gun or an ounce of this and that?
Taking it too far, man.
I really dug this one in the battle, man, and Ian's right. The production on this is stellar. All right, begging you, coming in. Just had heard it one time, so it was interesting to kind of go back. And what really stood out to me on this listen was just how layered the voices were, and just I think the highlight here, and you kind of mentioned it, that instrumentation and production.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's all I really got to say. That is it's a showcase for the studio and somebody putting in the work. I mean, it's a wonderfully constructed song, but yeah, the lyrics are secondary to say the least. I mean, maybe it's about his drug dealer, who knows what it's about, but it is really, you get a real idea of the studio as an instrument.
No, exactly, man. And I like Squire's kind of backward guitar effects in there. And I think it definitely has that drug feel, the way it and say it. It's all in a name. Does it call you or maul you and drive you insane? Can it make you remember time is a place? Now I'm begging you. I did like the kind of chorus where, I mean, it just said begging you, but it at least, kind of had that hazy psychedelic
because of the instrumentation, it made it stick in your head on that chorus. So that was good.
100%, man. So yeah, definitely another song that wouldn't be out of place in a dance club. That's for sure. And now we're gonna move to track 8 on here, Tightrope.
Yeah, Ian says one of my favorite Stone Roses songs. It builds and builds. The calm, almost sitar feeling at the start is carefully turned up with Brown's somewhat limited voice used to best effect. Use of sample clips in the background added the feeling of the song. Makes the whole album feel like a single work. I just feel the ending is a little unsatisfying, but it's better than a fade. He gives it a crispy 9.0.
Oh, looking forward to this.
Well, there you have it, Tightrope. And Trey, I think there's a lot of negatives to record an album over a 3-year period. But I think this song, along with Begging You, the last song, are kind of some of the positives because you see such diversity that I would imagine takes place over time that, we're jamming to this stuff in 92 and now we've advanced to this stuff in 94. But definitely a different kind of song. We talked about at the start of the reaction. This is just acoustic based. It does sound like a sitar at first, but compared to Begging You, where the production was just top notch. So what'd you think of this one?
Oh man, I really dug this. This is one of my favorites on the record up to this point, man. Just obviously the Eastern music feel, the very laid back nature. It's like everybody took a couple steps back from kind of the rest of the tunes that we've had on the record.
Yeah, for sure.
And I thought Brown's just kind of a lazy like vocal delivery lended well to this tune and
set the atmosphere. And the story of the tune basically is he's on a tightrope because he is all in on this girl.
He is,
man. He's just letting her know he's not sure she's the same. He's on this tightrope, and he really definitely doesn't want to fall off.
Well, because he builds her up to an angelic quality here.
Don't do that, boys. It's always going to disappoint you. No one's that.
And I like the line: "Are we etched in stone or just scratched in sand, waiting for the waves to come and reclaim the land?" And I take that as are we permanent? Etched in stone,
or are we just hanging out,
or are we just there where the waves, the first kind of trials that are gonna come our way, is that just gonna wash us away and shake us off our solid ground, so to speak? And then I thought the chorus was quite catchy too, in its own kind of quirky
way, man. It was.
So I don't have any complaints there on Ian's score, man. I dug that, and we're up now to song number 9. We have Good Times. Ian said again, Brown is vocally strong for him. He gives this everything. Guitar tour de force, my favorite track on the album. Keeps cranking it up. All I want is those good times, baby. And who could disagree? Ian gives this a 10.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right. Pressure's on, Ian.
Let the good times roll, Dad. And I think Ian was appropriate in saying it was a guitar tour de force, man. Especially in that last minute and a half, Squire was able to just let it loose, man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, really good song, man. Really good song. As you mentioned at the start, just a rocker, more of just straight up, let's go after this thing rocker.
Yeah, this is a tune that I think would have translated well to a live setting in particular. And here you got that time old subject matter of the woman, man. She's a bit scorned, and the love is not there anymore, man. Where did our sweet love go? Who stole away our time? Why do the stars above refuse to shine? The harder I try to paint a picture of the way it was back then, the more I miss the good times, baby. Let it roll again.
And he mentioned, he revisits those 2 lines a couple times with the memories. And then what you were talking about, we really like this song. Good times, baby. This is the time I need to know that your love is mine. And then love me up, yeah. You reel me in. I'm hooked, line and sinker. She's my heroine. One of the most addictive drugs in the world, and it tells you everything you need to know in a clever way.
Oh yeah, that play on the female heroine and the drug was just very well done by Brown there, and yeah, Squire and Brown, the duo, man, really bringing it, and I dug this tune, man.
I did too.
Quite a bit, man, and again showing that diversity here, and we'll see if we continue to have the diversity go as we get to the track Tears. Ian noted on this, it's a lovely ephemeral feeling to it, mouth organ, acoustic feeling with a quiet organ swirling in the background. A beautiful and quiet song, could have ended and been a really good track, but the tempo and volume steps up 2 minutes in, so be listening for that. Not sure how I feel about it. Both parts of the song work well, not sure they work as a combined song. 2 great songs merged to make a good one, in my view. Ian's going an 8 on this.
This one's almost 7 minutes long, so you have 2 minutes, I guess, of one version and 5 of the next.
All right, Tears bringing it, man, and poor Ian Brown. He's been up against it these last few tracks.
yeah, he hasn't had it too well. And yeah, the first part of the song is about 2:20, and then we did step it up into this harder rocky. For my taste, just a little bit long. I think when you go almost 7 minutes, there's not too many tracks that ever need to be 7 minutes. Shout out to Stairway to Heaven and a few others. But I liked it. It was definitely, I don't know, I think the tempo change may work for me.
Yeah, I actually really enjoyed this track. It's the kind of 2 songs in one didn't bother me, and the length didn't bother me either, because I think this was a total showcase for Squire as well, and his guitar work, throwing some acoustic and then just throwing some just beautiful rock riffs up and licks in there.
And Trey, maybe it isn't that. Maybe it's fatigue as we're this far into the album
too.
Fatigue of the sound this far in the album. On its own, it does sound good.
But yeah, man, I really dug this one yet again. I think this second half of the album's pretty darn strong.
It is.
As we're picking up, man, and he again just kind of wants that forgiveness from her. Absolve me, my dear. I've seen the future in the tracks of your tears. Obviously, a lot of melancholy surrounding this track, man. And I cast a shorter shadow with every passing day. No time to think. I'm just fading away. Hopefully our man Ian Brown is able to
get through it,
to get through it and ramp up in these final 2 tunes. But I dug it, man, and I thought it was a unique tune, combining the 2 in 1. And now we're going to How Do You Sleep? Ian said this is a classic Stone Roses song that could have come off the first album. The harsh lyrics are the archetypal anti-love song.
Ooh, I like it. I like anti-love songs. There's too many love songs, boys and girls.
How Do You Sleep? Bringing it, man. We were just talking at the end there. One of the most pleasant sounding choruses that we've had, but also some of the most biting lyrics in that chorus as well.
Yeah, I like that too. When songs do that, either way, there's a fast song, with the other lyrics, or this one's a slower song with some fireworks. How do you sleep? How do you last the night and keep the dogs at bay? How do you feel when you close your eyes and try and drift away? Does it feel any better now? Does it mean any more when the angel of death comes knocking and banging at your door? And then he finishes with repeating, at your door. Fantastic, man.
Oh yeah, and I really quite thought the "Are My Dreams Your Nightmares?" I hope they all come true. I thought that was very clever.
Yeah, he's definitely bringing it here.
Just a melody that gets stuck in your head here, and a strong vocal performance. I think for Brown as well. I could see this being single worthy, honestly, as well.
Me too.
It had those graphic lyrics at the start about the severed head at the banquet for the dead, all dressed up for dinner. I thought that the imagery in this song was
it was top notch.
Was really really strong too, man. And I was wrong on my whole is Ian Brown gonna feel better? Because hey,
he's not.
That track wasn't it, but
he's in his feels, and it ain't gonna change, man.
Well, we're gonna end this off with the tune that has the most streams by far on Spotify. We have "Love Spreads." It's a Squire show-off track, according to Ian here. Classic guitar work, catchy but simple chorus, feels hymn-like. Really love how the song tones it down halfway in, leads back in with keys, repeating the chorus and building up the layers until "I Had a Dream, I've Seen the Light," fitting into a great album. Ian gives this a 9.
Yeah, and it was the lead single. Went to 2 in the UK because I'm sure everybody was anticipating.
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Can't wait for this. The highest peak for any song by the band, 55 in the US, 67 in Canada. Its lyrics are telling of the passion of Christ reinterpreting Jesus as a black woman. That's what I found in some good replay. We're going to have to see if that's true. Bobby Gillespie of Primal Scream hailed the song as, quote, the greatest comeback single ever. In 2007, NME placed it at number 44 in his list of the 50 greatest indie anthems ever, and said it was the band at their Take No Prisoners best. All Music called the song a true classic. I'll have to say, what a build-up track. Let's finish off this album.
All right, ending this mammoth of a record out with "Love Spreads." I kind of mentioned it in the reaction, but yet again, Squire I think is a highlight. He's been the highlight for me on this entire record.
I agree.
Man,
yeah, fantastic work
with his guitar work. One of the riffs kind of reminded me of "Purple Haze" actually by Hendrix, and there were a lot of licks in this record that kind of sounded like that. A unique song and subject matter, to say the least.
Did you interpret it the way I said? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I just being in the States too, with obviously the awful racial history.
That's what I thought. I was thinking 60s South.
I kind of get that, obviously the lynching and
that's what I got
awful stuff as well.
But I don't know.
But I mean, I guess you could read it in either way. But like any good song, I guess it has that multiple interpretation. But the whole, kind of cross to bear, the hiding in the trees with the picnic, and even calling her the Messiah. That could just be the sense of reverence of the plight that they went through, this or that. In any case, man, I thought that this kind of encapsulated the best of what this record had.
See, I thought it was a wise way to end. Exactly, it caps it all off. I always remember what you start with and what you end with, and those two things were excellent. And on that note, Ian gave us a little afterthoughts, which I enjoyed.
Dude, yeah. As we go to our favorite tracks and overall, Ian gave a nice little paragraph himself.
He did. He said, so on reflection, not as an important record as the Stone Roses, but as a record, it works better, especially the very strong second half. Great album, artwork again, it all felt right and sums up the mid-90s Manchester music scene to me. I had a ticket to see them at the Wolverhampton Civic Hall my first year at uni. Never went as no one would go with me. I was too scared to go by myself. Not many regrets in my life, but that is one. Should have gone as they split in 96, and I never would see them live. I suppose I needed to be 5 years older. Really, I totally get that. But I mean, why would you think in the second album just comes
That's
out?
Right.
I think these guys are going to have a long run. And he said, love this since it was one of the first 9 CD albums I bought. I remember making a 3x3 square on my bed after I bought it, those 3 CDs.
Oh.
Overall, a 9 for me. Ian says I'm pretty lonely in that opinion, though. We'll cover that in a minute. But favorite tracks, Trey? It's 12 songs. It's a lot because that's how music was back then.
No, yeah.
You want me to go? You want to go?
I'm good with whatever. I got mine up here ready to fire away.
Go ahead then.
I'm gonna go Driving South. I'll just go from when they first appeared in the record. A 10-story love song. I got to throw some love to Tightrope with the unique kind of sitar-like. I just thought that was totally in left field, and they took a risk and it worked out. And then I'm also gonna go Good Times. I just thought that was my favorite use of Squire's guitar work probably, and he's one of my favorite guitarists, and that song I think really encapsulates encapsulated what he does best.
Yeah, shout out to Love Spreads, honorable mention, but I'm going to also go with Good Times. I'm going to go with Tightrope, just like you. I'm going to go with 10-Story Love Song. And my favorite song on the album, which is shocking to me because of the length of it when I looked at it going in, is Breaking Into Heaven.
Honorable mention for me on that. That was a way to start the record.
That was a way to start the record. Now we go to our overall score. Ian, you say it's a 9. It's not a 9 for me. I don't like it as well as their first one, but I do really like it. I'm going to be at an 8.0.
Yeah, man, I'm going to echo some of your thoughts, Dad. I think that it started off really strong with the opener. We had Breaking Into Heaven, Driving South, 10-Story Love Song.
And then we take a dip.
I think it dipped for maybe 3 or 4 tracks.
Right, but then it recovers nicely.
Yeah, that second half really was strong, Dad. So I'm going to be with you in that 7.75 to 8 range.
Just because the production and instrumentation alone has to elevate it to a level.
Yeah, man, I thought the bass work was a standout throughout. Obviously, I've raved about Squire. Brown's voice, it fits the style of music perfectly.
He doesn't ever try to do something he can't do. And that's part of being a great vocalist. You don't have to have the best voice in the world, but you got to not try to do things you can't do.
Exactly, man. Fantastic drumming on multiple points as well, and just the overall mixing and production. I think it's held up well compared to maybe some other mid-90s records from this time and in this setting. So, all in all, man, not up to that, debut album.
But that's going to be hard to get. It's up in the upper echelon of albums of all time for me.
Yeah, and even if it didn't reach that height, it's still pretty darn good, man. But Ian, shout out to you for bringing this to our attention, and of course, we always want to hear from y'all. Watch and let us know your favorite tracks down below and your overall score. Are you like Ian? Are you a hot take person and like this better than the debut?
That's exactly right. Bring it. Don't worry about what other commenters say about you, man. Bring it on. But yeah, Ian, thank you. Thanks for letting me join in on this one and crash the Trey parade on these reactions. But I'm glad we finally got to hear this.
Oh, yeah.
It's been suggested several times, especially as much as we love the debut.
Absolutely. And I guess, Dad, that'll wrap it up from here today, man. Until next time, thanks so much for watching. Happy listening, and we will see ya.